I think let's get into the weeds of this topic. So, uh, what you are getting into, I suppose, is creative direction itself. So, and you are by role and by function a creative director, right? So,
Yep.
what is the role? What is the responsibility of a creative director?
So, as an example, a creative director, it's not a set responsibility. Like it's not one sort of responsibility, I'd say. It's basically giving creative visual, like a creative direction or a visual direction to any and everything possible. As an example, let it be a film, let it be a campaign you're running, let it be a brand overall, let it be anything that is going to reach out to people. That and a lot of people misunderstand this as making it. It's not just about making it. So it's about planning something that when it goes out to a certain person or a certain target, when they look at it, they start having a good feeling about it. A lot of brands mess that bit up because they think the creative direction is not such a big deal, but it
Can you
does.
give an example? Can you give an example of
Uh,
this?
as an example, if you look at, as an example, Google. So why do you think Google down the line they've changed their logo so many times? Why have they done that? They've done it to create a visual identity to the brand. It's more easy to understand. It gives your eyes a little more pleased when you look at it. Like if you remember the earlier Google logos, those were really bad. Same as Apple. Like if you look at any of the big companies, they keep changing their logos as per the new generation. And this is pure and clean creative calls. These are not something that's related to marketing. Yeah, it may be from one perspective that people want to see a smaller logo identity that can be understood, but eventually the changes are happening creatively. They are not happening through a phase of money or through a phase of any quantity or quality or anything like that. It's just simple, direct creativity.
So,
So
if I could paraphrase it, or if I could summarize it, condense it, your role as a creative director is to create and maintain an identity for
yes.
your entire brand across the different products.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
correct?
yes, yes. So as an example, I look after the websites, I look after performance. So all these things go hand in hand. So
Got it.
if we have a certain topic or certain campaign that's going to be run, it has to be reflected on the website. It has to be reflected on social media. It has to be reflected on performance. It has to be reflected on each and every sector that we are targeting for the people.
Oh,
So
got it.
that's where I build the identity for the brand. So as an example, if we are having it's you can see it's raining outside now. So if you are having something related to monsoon, so that touch of monsoon has to be there on the website. It has to be there on social media. It has to be there on videos. Similarly, I'd say this is what I'm doing right now. But as creative director, I used to do way different things in my earlier place. So so there it used to be more of courses. So we used to have more courses and how the whole brand identity, like how yours, there's the whole brand. There, my brand used to be my course. So maybe there's a course like hula hooping. So I would create the whole brand identity for the hula hooping course. That would be how it's gonna look, how it's gonna feel, what people are gonna see. Is it gonna have like graphics on it? Is it not gonna have graphics on it? So that was the creative direction that I did for that.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so previously you were working for a kids
DIY.
community, DIY,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And the identity required like a more kids
Yeah,
aesthetic, right?
yeah. It required more kids friendly. Like it required something that kids would be happy looking at.
Understood.
Like
Understood.
the colors can't be dark. They have to be like clean, poppy. They have to be neat. Like just thinking about it, kids love a lot of funky stuff, a lot of sound effects that make things happen around in the background, a lot of fancy stuff that happens on screen, like just yeah, you pull a rabbit outside a cap, that's gonna make a kid happy for no reason. He's just gonna be like, wow, that's so nice. But yeah, thinking about it from a few, like from my perspective, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's not too much. It's a lot of people do that.
Understood. Understood. And so getting like I'm trying to uh, find out, the objective of creative identity. From what I can gather, it has to do with like a brand, right? A brand is easily identifiable when there is synergy across the different products. Like, I
Yes.
suppose Apple's a whole brand identity. You can see an Apple app and
Yeah.
identify pretty quickly
You
it's an
can.
Apple app,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Or even a physical product, let's say like Tang, like
Yeah.
any Tang packaging has a very similar aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Right. I think it makes sense, and I think it also has to do with the consumer. So if
Yes.
it's
Majorly
more
the consumer.
consumer centric. Got
Yes.
it. That's very
Because
interesting.
eventually what I do impacts the consumer the most. Like it
Right.
doesn't, what I do might not impact numbers, it might not impact revenue, but what I do impacts the consumer directly because what I do, that's what's seen by the consumer.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
So that's where the whole difference is.